What's up, guys? Shadow 7X5 here. And I just want to say that college is mid and it is a terrible experience. I don't reckon I'm joking. Okay. Uh, I'm joking. Partially. Partially joking. You know, if there's any secret agents listening in the education system, actually, no, I don't apologize. College is mid. It Loki is kind of mid, depending on what route you take. Like, I don't even know what I'm gonna name the thumbnail, but whatever the thumbnail is, it's gonna be something negative about college to like hook people in. And I hope you were one of those people who were hooked because I have something to say about it. But we'll start with my college experience. I actually had I tried voicing over this like the first time. I didn't like how it goes or how it went, so I'm doing it a second time. Yeah, we're raw dogging it, part two, with no script. But yeah, with my experience, I just started in college. Like I had my first semester. It was about 3-ish months, and it was something. Yeah. Before I had said something about like not having recess or nap time, which they don't have that. So if anybody was going to college and they wanted recess or nap time, I'm sorry, they don't have that. It's not for you, bro. Yeah, it was. I'll say that it was a tough experience. It was a sobering experience in a sense, and it was not at all what I was expecting. Though that wasn't the surprise, not being what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be something that I couldn't expect. So that's like some odd kind of like paradox. I was expecting it to be something that I wasn't expecting. But anyways, like I barely even like met people because of how I was like viewing things. Like I walked in there like probably most people, or at least a good portion of people. I came out with a high school diploma. Can you even get into college without a high school diploma? I don't know if I think you can. Can you? I don't know. But I came in there with a high school diploma that essentially means little to nothing that I know of, other than good job or congratulations for getting it. But literally, as soon as I got my high school diploma, I just realized it was just a piece of paper. But that's just the high school rant. I already made a rant video on high school. But yeah, I came in with the high school experience. You know, the standard thing, expectation for academics that I was just gonna memorize a ton of stuff and then just forget it later on or whatever. That I was literally primed in most of my high school classes to just like focus intensely on a subject and then drop it and move on to the next subject. And I'll say that college was not in the same regard with academics as high school. I had one class that was like that. It was like a social psych class where you just memorize some terms, you take a test, you move on to the next terms, you take a test, and then you can just like drop all that stuff if you want, or you can take it to heart. I mean, it was a kind of chill class, obviously. It was my least intense class because of how similar it was to the high school experience that I was already primed and geared towards. It's crazy how are they saying that they're preparing people, like preparing high school students for college when they aren't even like making the system at all similar to the system in college. Like it is almost night and day. But you know, like with college, you can essentially go wherever you want once class is done. Like once you leave the building, you can just go wherever. Where like in high school it's just like you're on a set track. Like it's as linear as it gets in high school. You leave the classroom, and then you have to almost immediately go to your next class within like 5 to 10 minutes. The heck, it really is just like 5ish minutes because people spend that time doing who knows what, like using the bathroom, talking to people, or just I don't even know. But you really don't even get that much time to yourself. And you're just speed running things. Where in college you can have like a speed running schedule where it's like class after class if you want to do that, or you can just like space things out, and you can just like take you could take 7 classes or more. I don't recommend that personally because I did something like that and it went terrible. Or you can just take like 4 classes. I think you have to take at least a minimum of like 3 classes or something, or meet like a certain credit requirement to be counted as a college student. So there are some like limits on things like that. But like it's pretty free roam. Oh my goodness, my words for college. Yeah, but it is majorly different for academics because with the classes that weren't like high school, they give you like a ton of lessons in terms, and what they don't um what they don't stress enough, or actually no, they did kind of at the start. What high school didn't stress enough is the fact that in college you would have to take these lessons and to actually take them to heart and actually learn. Yeah, it's funny how in the past few systems of education, they weren't actually teaching students to have super effective learning as much as they were priming them to just be a bunch of memorizers. Sorry, I had to take a breath. Yeah. So it was a rude awakening for me, and had a lot of struggles, but that wasn't even the half of it. My main struggle wasn't exactly with adapting as much as it was with figuring out my situation with my major. Because I walked in with a major that I did not care about and was vaguely interested in. Like, I walked in there with a chem major, and I'm not even interested in chem all that much. Like I'm more interested in like music, into games, into like literally kicking around a soccer ball. Like that is obviously more entertaining to me than chem. And I picked it because I wanted to appeal to appearance, and I wanted to look professional and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm a chem major. Yeah, I could probably pull that off." It's probably like someone saying, "Yeah, I could probably get a doctor's degree, or I could probably get a lawyer's degree casually." But like the catalog of stuff that you have to get into is not the kind of business that I would personally want to get into. It's like literally, it's just like a ton of walls. Like before you get into college, of people just trying to tell you what you should do. And some of the people are just giving genuine advice, and other people are just following a wave of like opinions and parroting of like stuff. Like before, it was people were shouting, "Do comp sci, do engineering," and now there's like some some issues that I'm hearing about with people in those fields, and it's being like more risky than other things, and like liberal arts, which is kind of funny. And actually, even more funny that I'm actually looking into comp sci. But like the focus is just when you're going to college, go into there with like a prepared mindset, at least in like what you want to do. Because if you don't even know what you want to do in college, like you should freeze and think about that before you even do that, bro. Because it is not cheap. It is not cheap. So take a moment and think about what you want to do before you let like someone straight up ram you into that. And because it's a big step. It is a very very big step, and there's a lot of different things. So the importance is to actually think before you leave. Actually, look before you leave. That's what I meant. Yeah.